Hey, what's up, YouTubers? And welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. You guys voted for this. So piled up on the bed, I have quite a few DVDs I've been picking up lately. Things that I've never owned or things that I owned in the past and don't anymore. I'm grabbing some stuff. So these are all new to the collection. I also brought out my Mondo Macabro DVDs because quite a few of these are new to my collection, but I brought everything out that I have so I can kind of show them all in one video, and we'll go through those. I got a graded comic, and there's my specs, my spectacles. Let me put those off to the side. Every now and again, when I order movies on eBay or Mercari, Etsy, sometimes people recognize my name and they throw in some freebies. And this little stack here on the end are free titles that people threw in with other things that I purchased, which I thought was pretty nice. And I'll go through and show you guys some of those. I don't remember who sent what, but it's always very much appreciated. And thank you for thinking of me to send me something. We have the girls here, Miss Hannah, Miss Hannah, and Miss Heidi. And we're in chill mode here at the Walnuts compound on Friday night. It's about 7 o'clock p.m., I think. 7:03 p.m. So we're in chill mode. I'm gonna record a video here tonight. It shouldn't be too long, but you know how I get. I get to talking and I drone on and on and on and on and on. So let's just check this stuff out. So these are in no order. I don't have any order to the way that I'm going to be showing these tonight, but the first one here is called Vampira, the movie, starring Mela Nurmi, who was Vampira. This was a documentary by Kevin Sean Michaels, The Shocking Truth About the Horror's First Host. And it has Forrest J. Ackerman in here, Jerry Only of the Misfits, Sid Haig, Lloyd Kaufman. I love horror movie history, and I love documentaries and historical pieces like this. This was put out by a company called oldies.com on Alpha Home Entertainment. This DVD was released in 2007. And let's see here. It does have some special features. You get a director's commentary track, Ted V. Michaels' Plan 9, Joe Flynn show interview, Count Smokula. I'm unfamiliar with Count Smokula, but you can, I don't even know if that's a male or a female. Johnny Coffin interview, Ari Lehman music video. So you get a bunch of good stuff in here. You got some big horror names. You got Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Forrest J. Ackerman, Lloyd Kaufman, Debbie Rochon, she's gorgeous, Sven Gulli. So I knew I had to grab this. Zach Early is in here as well. And this is a pretty awesome cover. And I definitely never had this before in my collection. I had to grab it. So the first one is Vampira, the movie. The next one, I have this movie probably 3 or 4 or 5 different times, but every time I see a different cover of this movie, this movie's pretty terrible, but the covers are so great. I had to grab this. Night of the Bloody Apes. It's a black and white Asian kind of a killer beast monster type movie. This one came out in, let's see here. This was released on DVD in 2000, but the movie, I'm guessing, was probably from either the late 50s or into the early 60s, I would guess. Black and white Asian horror movie about a kind of an ape man type deal. The cover's great, though. This is on Blu-ray. I do own this on Blu-ray. Here's another documentary. I never owned this one before, and I wanted to grab it. This is called The Best of Dark Dreamers, The Masters of Fantasy and Horror. And again, you get some huge legends. You got Clive Barker, Forrest J. Ackerman, Bernie Wrightson, Wes Craven, John Landis. Created and hosted by Stanley Whiter. And so this show, I think this is a series kind of in a documentary style. For 26 episodes, award-winning author Stanley Whiter interviewed the greatest artists, writers, and filmmakers in the worlds of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Now the very best of these conversations are available for the first time on DVD. And you get all of these interviews here. You got Forrest J. Ackerman, Clive Barker, Wes Craven. We talked about these names just moments ago, but this is really, really nice. Complete 4-disc collection of Dark Dreamers, also available at oldies.com. So this particular edition is, I think this is a 1-disc. I'm going to pull it out of the plastic here. I think this is a 1-disc, but you can get a 4-disc collection. And you can probably find that on eBay, I'm assuming. This one has a running time of 161 minutes. It came out in 2000 and 2001. And I guess that's when the show originally ran, and it was put out on DVD in 2017. So let me pause it here really quick and we'll take a look at the inside. So there on the inside, you get the disc art. It said it's on the back, it's a DVD-R, and it is. Anytime you see a DVD that has like a purple tinge to it, these are burned copies. But these were DVD-Rs that were sold as official releases. If you look here on the back, where did I see that? Right here. DVD-R is manufactured and printed in the USA. So this was pretty much, it was kind of a burn on demand, I guess. When they got orders, they would burn these. I'm assuming made to order. It also comes with a little flyer here for some previous things you can buy on their website. Rare and hard to find DVDs, CDs, and vinyl records, it says. All this stuff that I like. So that is Dark Dreamers. Looking forward to getting in this one. Also looking forward to hunting now for this complete 4-disc collection of Dark Dreamers. If anybody has that, let me know. The next one here is another movie that I have several times. I have it on Blu-ray, have it on DVD a few times, and this movie is one that actually scared me. It's a very creepy movie, and the reason why this one scares me so much, I think, is because it's something that could and would really happen. And the movies that take place in mental asylums or crazy houses, whatever you want to call them, those are the ones that are the most effective, because that kind of stuff can really happen. This guy here in the movie really came off like he was completely insane. I love this cover. It looks like an old VHS rental tape. You have the little stickers on there for horror and oldies video. And this is if you guys haven't seen Don't Look in the Basement, check it out. It's very low budget. The acting is pretty bad, but I think in a movie like this, the bad acting actually helps it, because these are mental patients, and the bad acting kind of fills in their character a little bit better, I think. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, movie from 1973, and this DVD came out in 2021. It's just a repackage. And when I saw this, I knew I had to grab it. I think it was under $10, brand new sealed, so definitely wanted that one. This is probably one of the better covers I've seen for this movie. And just that guy alone right there, he was the scariest guy in the movie, and to have him on the cover like that with the bloody axe, that's perfect. Next one is another movie that documentary that I wanted for a while, and I finally pulled the trigger on it. This is the Dario Argento documentary called An Eye for Horror. And this is put out by Image Entertainment. And let's see here, when did this come out? It came out in 2000. Hard to believe it's almost 25 years old already. Dario Argento is one of my favorite directors of all time. And I think a lot of what he did was genius. And I love the giallo slashers, the Italian slashers that he directed. And everything about his movies was great. I love the atmosphere and the colors that he used. The music was always on point with his band Goblin, or the Goblins, when they first came out. But everything about Dario Argento is great, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. And I have, speaking of Dario Argento, we'll kind of skip ahead a little bit. These are some movies that I've never owned on DVD, and as far as I know, this never had a Blu-ray release. This is called Mother of Tears. And this is part 3 in the Mother of Tears trilogy from Argento. And this was the Dimension Extreme DVD, and I'm not sure why this never had a Blu-ray release. At least in the US it hasn't. And it really needs to get one. There's his daughter, Asia Argento, who turned out to be a complete creep. I think she's gorgeous, and it's a shame what happened to her. She was running her mouth with the whole Me Too movement, and then to find out that she was, well, I'm not going to get into that, but she's... Anyway, moving on. We have another Argento movie, and I used to have this on VHS, and this is his Phantom of the Opera, full frame and widescreen. Hold on here. Let's see. This is the unrated director's cut, starring Julian Sands and his daughter Asia Argento. And I think this is one of his underrated movies. Not too many people talk about this one. It's a little bit different than his slasher movies, but it's still very, very good. It's a very atmospheric, very good music, good soundtrack to that movie. Check that out if you haven't. And here is, this was one I was a little bit disappointed in the first time I saw it. This was one of his later releases. This is Dracula by Dario Argento. Rutger Hauer plays Van Helsing in this movie. Asia Argento is in here again. And I was really stoked when I heard this came out a while ago now, but it's still one of his later movies. I don't think he's done much lately. I want to say this came out in the early 2000s, 2012, is that right? Wow. So, oops. Wow, that's really blurry. Sorry about that. Looks like 2012 right there. And I was really looking forward to this. And to me, it was a little... I think I need to rewatch it. It was a little artsy for me, but I think it may grow on me. I'm going to watch this again, I think, coming up here soon. I'm going to check this out. I think this one has a Blu-ray release by now, so I'll probably go that route. And then here's another movie by Argento. This is one I've never seen before, and it's called Giallo. And stars Adrian Brody. To catch a killer, you must think like a killer. And I've seen just about every movie Argento has done, but I've never seen this one yet. And this is unrated, 92 minutes running time. The movie, looks like the movie came out in 2010. If anybody has seen that, go ahead and leave a comment without any spoilers. Going to pause it here and kind of put some things away and continue. Give it one more quick peek in case anybody's taking notes at home for things that they want to pick up. So you got Dario Argento, An Eye for an Eye, a documentary about his career. And again, this, I think there's been an updated or a newer documentary since this one. This one came out in 2000. I think there's a different documentary, maybe a more in-depth documentary that has come out since that, though. We have Giallo, Phantom of the Opera, unrated director's cut, Dracula, and Mother of Tears. I think the Mother of Tears trilogy is excellent. I love the witchcraft and the witch lore. Those are really excellent movies. So those were my little Argento stack. Okay, let's jump ahead a little bit and check out some Blu-rays. I don't have very many Blu-rays in this update video, but I'm going to show you the 3 that I did pick up. And the first one is a steelbook for Halloween H2O, 20 years later. This is the 4K steelbook. I picked this up on Amazon. I think it was about 15 bucks, 20 bucks for a 4K. I grabbed it, and I'm gonna pause it, take the plastic off, and we're gonna look at the steelbook art and the inside. So this one comes with a plastic little slip cover that goes over the top. Has the Halloween H2O logo, 20 years later. Has some decorations, some fall type decorations, a pumpkin, some leaves falling. And then the steelbook itself is very glossy. A really, really nice, beautiful slipcover. I love the colors. I love how they blended the very dark, the black with the kind of the light, the yellow and the orange to make it look like the pumpkin is glowing. It looks really good. And then on the back, let's see Michael and Lori. And on the inside, you have the 4K. This also did come with a digital code. I gave it away already, so that's no longer here. I don't use digital codes. I usually give them away or throw them away. And then there is some interior art, which looks really good. And pretty happy to have this steelbook on 4K. It was, like I said, it was 15 or 20 bucks, which to me that's a steal. So I had to grab that. That's a really nice looking steelbook. Trying to get that to focus for you. And the next 2 are upgrades for me. This is the Blob from Scream Factory, 4K and Blu-ray. I also do have the Blu-ray. And this is the alternate cover that was a Scream Factory website exclusive. So you get to choose from 2 different covers. I like that. I think the artwork here is beautiful. And I really enjoy this movie. To me, this is one of the rare cases where a sequel, or I'm sorry, a remake is better than the original. This is the Blob from 1988, which was a remake of the Blob from 1958. And both movies are very good, but the Blob remake is far superior, in my opinion. And we'll take a look here on the back. I know Scream Factory's been doing this a lot lately, where they're releasing website exclusive alternate slipcovers, which I think that's a great idea. So really glad to have this on 4K, and glad to have that alternate artwork, which looks really good, by Devin Whitehead, who's a excellent artist, obviously. He does a lot of commissioned art for Scream Factory and other companies as well. So put those off to the side and just kind of jump from pile to pile here. This is another DVD release from a company called eastwestdvd.com. And if you follow the channel, you may remember probably a few months ago now, I showed you guys the animated movie The Hobbit from East West, and it's incredibly rare. And I think it's going for a couple $100. And I showed you that one a few months ago, and this is the sequel to that. This is Return of the King. This one is a lot more affordable. I think I got this one for under $20. So was glad to have this one. And these were eastwest.com. It's no longer, it's a defunct website. And this company doesn't release movies anymore. It was a Japanese company. And they had some pretty cool releases. The only thing I don't like about this, though, it's a slim. And so was the Hobbit. It was a slim pack, skinny pack. And I think they got in trouble for releasing movies without having the rights to them. And I think that's what shut them down. And that's what makes these harder to find now, because the company doesn't exist anymore and the stuff that's out there is kind of scarce. So I wanted to grab that, add it to my Hobbit, Lord of the Rings collection. We'll jump into this pile here. This was a lot. Let me see if these were all in the same lot here. All of them except that one. We'll put that to the side. All of these movies came in a lot together. I can't remember where I got it. If it was either Mercari or eBay. I've been doing a lot of business on those sites lately. And all of these are brand new, sealed, and I think I got them for about, I think I got these for $40 for the whole lot, and I'm going to go through them right now. It looks like at one point somebody bought these for $5 a piece. These are still sealed. Now these are getting harder to find now as time goes on, especially sealed. So this one's called The Demon, starring Cameron Mitchell. There's Cameron right there. And these were from a company called Diamond Entertainment. You guys may remember that company. They were kind of a bare bones. They weren't really a flashy company, but they were a very early, kind of a pioneer company in the DVD releasing world. And this movie came out in 1979. It's rated R, 94 minutes running time. And you can see the kind of stuff that they have for bonus materials. So they consider the full-length feature film a bonus material. You get fully restored and enhanced digital masters. You get chapters, original graphics. So back when these movies were being released, there wasn't a whole lot going on as far as features, bonus features and materials like that. And these companies like Diamond Entertainment, they were just kind of releasing bare bones stuff. And they were much more affordable than like your Anchor Bay or Blue Underground Synapse in that time. So that is The Demon. The next one is called Don't Look in the Basement, and I just showed you guys this movie earlier. Just a different cover of the same movie, and you can see the one on the right is far superior. I mean, it's not even close. This movie's pretty good. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't seen it, but I want to tell you though, it's so ridiculous. The movie is so low budget. The acting's terrible, but there's just something about this movie to me that creeps me out. So you may not have the same, it may not have the same effect on you as it does for me. That's what I'm trying to say, but give it a shot. If you like, creepy, insane asylum type movies, you may like that one. And 95 minutes running time, 1973. There we go with the out of focus again. Whole bunch of no-namers in the movie, which also I think benefited the movie. There wasn't, the acting was bad. There was nobody you recognized, and it was a mental asylum, and it just felt like it was real. And this lady in the movie was just completely tormented. Very, very creepy movie. Next one is Dario Argento's Cat O' Nine Tails, starring Carl Malden, and that's actually a beautiful cover. I really like that. I have this movie many, many, many times. 1971, 112 minutes running time. I love these Italian slasher movies. These are the best. Italian slashers and backwoods slashers are my favorite. Here's one called Jack the Ripper, starring Klaus Kinski. It's another great cover. Look at how insane Klaus Kinski looks. I've always been very fascinated by the whole lore of Jack the Ripper. I have a handful of documentaries and historical pieces about this movie, or the killer Jack the Ripper, and I find it fascinating. I really like true crime stuff, and this is like some early OG crime stuff. So pretty good movie. Klaus Kinski's always creepy. So excuse me. Here's Kill Baby Kill, Mario Bava movie. Another great cover. This movie came out in 1966. 86 minutes running time. And this is what you get for bonus materials. You get a full-length feature film and fully restored and enhanced. Oh, here's in the red box too, I guess. I didn't look far down enough. You get interactive menus, original graphics, chapters, facts and trivia, film information, biography. Another great Italian slasher movie, Kill Baby Kill. This is a great movie. If you've never seen Kill Baby Kill, do check it out. It definitely has that 60s vibe too. Let's see if we can see some of the, you see different, the outfits from the 60s. It definitely screams 60s. Here's Kiss Me, Kill Me, starring Carol Baker. It's an Umberto Lenzi. It's a Lenzi Baker production, and they've done a handful of movies together. This is one of them. And I do have the Lenzi Baker box set on Blu-ray from, I believe it was Severin Films. I showed that on the channel recently. And this was another 60s movie, 1969. 91 minutes running time, rated R. Another Italian slasher movie. Excellent stuff. So tell me, would you pay $40 for these 6 movies sealed? Did I get taken for a ride, or did I do good? I guess it's always going to be in the eye of the buyer, right? I think I got a good deal on it. Obviously, that's why I paid for it. These are getting harder to find. I'm not trying to justify it, but I'm very happy to have these for $40 because I think these could easily be $20 a piece. So that is Kiss Me, Kill Me, Kill Baby Kill, Jack the Ripper, The Demon, Cat O' Nine Tails, and Don't Look in the Basement. The next stack here, the first one is a Anchor Bay release of The Blood Spattered Bride. I also have this on Blue Underground label. The Blue Underground label cover is better than this one, but this one's a little harder to find. There's the Anchor Bay logo. See that? You guys know the Anchor Bay logo. This one was released in 2000, but the movie came out in 1972. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with the focus on here. But you got the disc, you got the chapter card. That's the money shot right there. That's what's on the cover of the Blue Underground DVD. And that is pretty alarming. That's pretty disgusting. The Blood Spattered Bride. Glad to have this. You can see on the back some of the still photos. The next one is called The Creep. This one's getting kind of harder to find too. This was on my wish list for a while. I never owned it before until now. This was put out by a company called 13 O'Clock Theater. And this one is hosted by Forrest J. Ackerman. And he was also in the movie as Dr. Acula. I guess that's the name of the host that he's in the movie. Is your host for the 13 O'Clock Theater, filmed inside his fantastic Acker Mansion in Hollyweird, California. Mr. Monster himself wears Dracula's original cape and ring. And this DVD came out in 2001. It's black and white and color. It's unrated. And this, like I said, this one's getting a little harder to find. It's still out there, and you can still get it for about 20 bucks, I think. But this is the kind of stuff that's going to go up in price. This is going to skyrocket here in the near future. Just letting you guys know. So I definitely wanted to grab it now while I could. That's The Creep. Glad to have that. The next one is called Morella's Blood Flood, a triple avalanche of horror. This one has another horror hostess. It's all-night terrorama. Welcome to Graveyard Theater. I like these low-budget horror hosts and hostesses. I think they're pretty fun. And I've never heard of her before. Her name is Hostess Morella. And you get 3 movies that she, I guess, kind of hosts, and I'm assuming she pops in between, and every once in a while pops in. The triple header is Grave of the Vampire from 1974, House of Evil starring Boris Karloff from 1968, and Guru the Mad Monk from 1970. And it's all bookended by 3 spooky episodes of Morella's Graveyard Theater, so sit back, unwind, and get ready to stay up late. These are pretty fun. I like these. And it says it's approximately 4 hours of nerve-wracking fear. And this one came out in, let's see if I can find a year. It doesn't say. Yeah, I'm not sure. The cover's pretty good, and there's our hostess right there, Morella. And here is the Uncle Forey's Acker Mansions, and this is a documentary about the collection of Forrest J. Ackerman and the Acker Mansion that he owned. This is a 70-minute historical footage with photos and interviews. And this is another slim pack. And this opens up like a digipack. Let me see if I can open this up without... There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Really getting the hang of this one-handed thing. So there's the cover. The first little side is just a thin paper or thin cardboard little flap, and it shows some of the other stuff that's available that you can get. And then on the right hand side is where the hub for the DVD is, and you can see some of Forrest J. Ackerman's impressive. When I say impressive, that's an understatement. This guy had an amazing collection. And there's Boris Karloff right there, and Forrest J. Ackerman, and there's a couple different versions of this. I know that there was one that was released in the UK. This was the US release from a company called November Fire Recordings. And this came out on DVD in 2014. But the documentary was filmed in 2008, I think. So a lot of the things that you'll get to see are memorabilia, including 300,000 books, original 1933 King Kong props, Ray Harryhausen props, Bela Lugosi's cape, Lon Chaney Sr.'s makeup box, just Dracula signed by Bram Stoker. I mean, when you talk about collecting, this guy was the collector. He was the collector. And if you want to be amazed, you can check this out. I'm not sure if this is on YouTube. You may be able to watch this for free on YouTube. But I like to have physical copies, so I had to get this. And again, this is called Uncle Forey's Acker Mansions. Check out that cover. That's beautiful. It says it was artwork by Scott Jackson. I don't know who Scott Jackson is, but the artwork is awesome. So that is Acker Mansions. The next one here is a movie that's getting harder and harder and harder to find. It's getting pretty expensive for this one. And this was never released on Blu-ray. This is the DVD of Night of Bloody Horror, put out by a company called Cheesy Flicks. Cheesy Flicks, they released a lot of low-budget stuff that never really got a proper DVD release. And the thing about Cheesy Flicks is now they're transitioning into digital, so they're not really releasing physical copies anymore. They're trying to get away from that and do everything digital. So if you're interested in this movie, I would try to pick it up sooner rather than later, because it's only going to go up. I think this is going for like 30 to 40 bucks now for a DVD, which to me, yeah, that's pretty crazy. You don't want to spend that much money on these. They're only going to go up, though. These are going to be almost impossible to find here coming up, you know, in the next few years. It says a violent meat cleaver splatter murder movie tells the story of Wesley, former mental patient, who goes out on a killing spree hacking up beautiful women, all of whom were his former lovers, while experiencing the nightmares of his brother, who was murdered 13 years ago. Another one of these mental patient movies that are pretty creepy. Here's another one that's, this one's still pretty affordable, but this one's going up now too. I think this is still probably under $20. This is called Flesh Feast. And a secret laboratory located in the basement of a Miami Beach mansion is the centerpiece of this grisly shocker. Ghastly youth restoration experiments using flesh-eating maggots are being conducted under the supervision of Dr. Elaine Frederick. I don't know if that's Veronica Lake. It looks like her, but it doesn't say on the back. And I could be completely wrong with it. It looks like Veronica Lake to me. Horror and hysteria mount on a surprise ending finally reveals the real motives of the attractive lady doctor. This was put out by a company called Atelier Chromatique. Came out in 2000. It's a great cover. The next one is Daughters of Darkness. This is the Anchor Bay edition of it. I also have this on Blue Underground. This is a different cover. There's the old Anchor Bay logo. That thing, that's beautiful right there. The old original OG Anchor Bay logo. And this one was released in 1998 by Anchor Bay. And the movie, I think the movie is from the early 70s, 1971. This is the uncut. I think this, when it first came out, it was cut by 12 minutes, but this was the fully uncut edition, Daughters of Darkness. Kind of a witchcrafty type movie. Glad to have that one. Here's one that I was pretty surprised about. I popped this in and watched it. This is pretty fun if you guys like your Halloween specials. This is kind of a Halloween special geared towards adults because there's kind of adult language and adult situations. It's puppetry, and it's very well done. It's called the Transylvania Television Real Meanin' of Halloween Special Show. Contains 11 season 3 web episodes, as well as the first season. I think there's 8 episodes. We'll look more on the back. But this is the limited edition broadcast version. I put it in an orange case. I think it's fitting for Halloween. It says here at the bottom, not for kids. Although I watched it. It's not really. Kids could watch this. This is not. There's nothing in here that would, you know. Kids can watch way worse today than. I think this came out in the 90s, the early 90s. Nope. 2011. It has a feel like it was much older than that. It feels like kind of like the Muppets. It has that old kind of feel to it. The original broadcast version of this program, it was first aired in October of 2010. This Halloween special DVD also contains the season 3 web episodes, for more laughs. The episodes in this are very short. They're like 10, 12 minutes a piece. So you can watch a whole bunch of them in no time at all. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty fun. And I would recommend this if you guys like this kind of stuff. It would be fun to watch this around Halloween time. And again, that is called the Transylvania Television Real Meanin' of Halloween Special Show. The next one is called Cult Movies TV, featuring Forrest J. Ackerman, Yvette Vickers, Jack Hill, Titus Moody, Vern Langdon, and many others. 8 classic episodes. Let's see here. We just named all those people. Don't have to really go back and name them again. It's hosted by Michael Kopner and Buddy Barnett. Martha's Movie Minute. This came out in 1999. And this was another oldies.com. This company really put out some great stuff. Oldies.com is no joke. It's just a shame it took us so long to realize that. They were releasing a lot of really good stuff years ago, decades ago. In 1990, the founders of Cult Movies magazine, Michael Kopner and Buddy Barnett, produced a one-shot magazine called Bela Lugosi Then and Now. That magazine was a big success and morphed into Cult Movies magazine, which ran for a total of 41 issues. Cult Movies magazine covered many topics, including classic horror, Karloff and Lugosi, Harry Langdon, Corella Pandit, Ed Wood, Godzilla films, and many other modern, classic, and obscure movie-related subjects. So this is kind of a documentary style for the cult movies. All the stuff that we love. There's blaxploitation. You got some of the old monster movies. You got some of the early Jack Hill stuff. Really, really good stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I love. I mean, if it's a rainy Sunday and there's nothing going on, I would pop something like this in and watch it. The next one is called The Sci-Fi Boys. And this is another kind of a documentary. This film charts the evolution of fantastic cinema to put on record for all time the influence that the pioneers of special effects had on my generation of filmmakers. Peter Jackson quote. That's a pretty bold statement, Peter Jackson. Look at all these legends here. You got Peter Jackson, Ray Harryhausen, Ray Bradbury, Forrest J. Ackerman, Roger Corman, John Landis, and more. I'm not going to read every name. You can read those there yourselves. But this is another rainy day. Pop this in. I thought this was another oldies.com, but it's not. It's Universal. Over 1 hour of bonus materials as well. So this came out in 2006 on DVD. It runs 1 hour and 20 minutes for the feature, and then you have over an hour of bonus materials. It's pretty amazing. You can go through the history of cinema with a documentary like that. And then the last one for this pile is an Ed Wood movie called The Bride and the Beast. Check out that cover. Please don't tell what happens to the bride. Retro Media Entertainment. This is another movie that's going up in price. I'm just letting you guys know. Not telling you what to buy. I only show you guys what I like, and if you like what I like, then you may want to pick some of these up. It's up to you. But this is a beautiful release. Retro Media always put out great releases. So that is The Bride and the Beast. I'll do a quick recap of this pile, and then we'll move on to the Mondo Macabro stuff. Okay, so like I said, a lot of these are going up in price. Daughters of Darkness, that's the Anchor Bay edition. Flesh Feast. Night of Bloody Horror, this one's going way up in price. That's getting harder to find. Morella's Blood Flood, it's a triple feature. She's the hostess. We got the Blood Spattered Bride, that's also an Anchor Bay release. I like the Blue Underground release a little bit better, but this one's a little more pricey. We have The Creep, The Transylvania Television Real Meaning of Halloween Special, Cult Movies, TV, and Sci-Fi Boys, and The Bride and the Beast. Pretty happy with these pickups. So here is my Mondo Macabro pile, and I used to have quite a few of their Blu-ray releases, and it got to a point that they were so limited and they would sell out so fast. I kind of got a little bit frustrated with this company, and I got out. You know, I stopped collecting these. But they've always been really good movies. They're very, very obscure. They're very rare movies. A lot of these movies had never been released on disc before, and so the guy who runs this company he's kind of a one-man show, like the Code Red Bill used to be. And I think this guy does a great job. It was just a little frustrating trying to collect like limited stuff, and then it was very expensive. But so anyway, long story short, I got rid of all of my Blu-rays for Mondo Macabro, and I never really owned too many of the DVDs, but I'm trying to remedy that now, and I'm going back on secondary markets and trying to find some of these for good prices. Some of these are unaffordable for me anymore. I'm not going to pay over $100 for a DVD. That's just not going to happen. But if I can get some of these for 15, 20 bucks, I will do that. And most of these are that, 15 to 20 bucks. A couple of these I owned already, but the majority are pretty new, and there's not that many of them. The first one here is called Mill of the Stone Women. This has a Blu-ray release from Arrow Video. This is actually a very good movie. I think this is like, it's kind of like House of Wax, if you like those kind of movies. It's very similar to that. This is the uncut Euro version. I like the red cases that come with these. These are really nice. And so this company releases a lot of very rare, obscure stuff. Like this one. This is a Jess Franco movie called Diabolical Dr. Z. This one's pretty new to me. I got this like about a month or two ago. I still haven't watched this one yet. A lot of these are foreign movies, and you have to watch them in the foreign language, but you can watch them with English subtitles. Here's one called Mystics in Bali. The Holy Grail of Asian Cult Cinema, it says at the top. Still haven't watched this one yet either. These are getting harder to find, and they're definitely going up in price. I'm seeing a lot of Mondo Macabro titles that are over $100, and those are ones I'm never going to get. Here's one I'm really interested in. This is called The French Sex Murders. And no, I'm not a pervert. I like slasher movies like this. So this is part of the Dick Randall Collection, Volume 1. I like these kind of obscure, rare slasher movies that I've never seen before. I've never even heard of this before. Here's one called The Wife Killer, and I don't recommend killing any wives. We love wives, right? This is the Greek Collection, Volume 2. I don't have a wife, but we love wives. A brutal thriller in the style of an Italian giallo. I guess you'll have to let me know which ones you like the best, and if you recommend any, let me know. I would definitely love to hear. This one I owned already. I think this was the first DVD I got from Mondo Macabro, called Don't Open Till Christmas. It's a Spanish. Is it Spanish? I know Pieces was a Spanish movie. It says from the producers of Pieces. I think I made that mistake last time. The director was from Spain, but I don't think the producers were, and I said this was a Spanish Christmas movie, and somebody corrected me. I think it's a British, I think this is a British Christmas slasher movie. It's a 52-minute making of. That's pretty significant. Documentary about the producers, Dick Randall, or producer Dick Randall. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. I love Christmas slashers anyway, or holiday-themed horror movies, so that's pretty cool. Here's one called Satanico Pandemonium. From Bride of Christ to Slave of Satan. I know this was a inspiration to Rob Zombie for some of his early lyrics. Speaking of Rob Zombie, I'm going to be doing a steelbook video and a vinyl LP video coming up here shortly. I don't know today, maybe in the next couple of days. This one's called The Killer Must Kill Again, a Lost Giallo classic, uncut widescreen. There's a killer on the road and he's getting closer. Movie's from 1975, directed by Luigi Cozzi. And the next one is called Satan's Blood, uncut Euro version. It's a great cover. This one came out in 1977, another slasher. Terror, sex, and satanic rituals on a one-way ride to hell. And the last one, this one looked pretty good. This was still affordable. This was like, I think this was about 15 bucks. It's called The Warrior. 1980s action hero is back. Barry Prima. And this one came out in 1981. It's an Indonesian action martial arts type movie. I haven't watched it yet. Witchcraft and black magic versus mystical martial arts. That sounds pretty good, actually. I will check this out. I'm assuming this is with English subtitles. I'm hoping. Oh, English language. That's even better. So, English language. 94 minutes running time. We'll do a quick recap. And so we have The Warrior, Satan's Blood, The Killer Must Kill Again, French Sex Murders, Diabolical Dr. Z, Mill of the Stone Women, Mystics in Bali, The Wife Killer, Don't Open Till Christmas, and Satanico Pandemonium. Let me know which one is your favorite. I also picked up a graded comic of Frank Sinatra, None But the Brave. This was a Dell comic from 1965. It's a kind of a lower mid-lower grade, whatever you want to call it. I like the cover. I think that Frank Sinatra there on the front looks great. I'm a big Sinatra fan. And there's what the back looks like. This was pretty cheap. I think this was 75 bucks plus shipping. So grabbed that to add that to the comic book collection. This is basically just a display piece here. I like that cover. Looks great. And these are the freebies that people have sent to me over the last couple of months. Thank you to anybody who's watching. If you sent this to me, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you, the viewer. Thank you for watching. Anybody out there who's still watching. This one's called The Satanic Rites of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. This comes in one of those old kind of jewel case. These were nice. I like these. They weren't around very long, but I do like those. I've seen this movie before. It's pretty good. Anytime you get Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing together, that's money in the bank. So that's The Satanic Rites of Dracula. Here's one called Alone in the Dark, the unrated director's cut. Comes with a slipcover. Starring Christian Slater and Tara Reid, Stephen Dorff. I think I saw this years ago. I mean, but this thing is like mint. So whoever sent this, thank you. If you're watching, you can comment down below. I really appreciate it. Somebody also sent me Ricochet, starring Denzel Washington and Ice-T, John Lithgow. This is one of those old snapper cases. You guys may remember those with the little plastic snap on the side there. Let's see here. I just had it open. I don't know what I did. Oh, there we go. So there's the disc. I don't know why it looks like it's so dusty. I haven't opened this yet, but here's the chapter menu. These didn't have a very long run, these snapper cases like this. They didn't last very long, and it has like a piece of paper cardboard on the front cover, and it's snapped. This one is in amazing shape considering how old it is. This was released, let's see if it has a year on the back. I don't see it. I don't want to waste too much time. 1991 the movie came out, but when was the DVD released? I don't know. But this thing is in really, really excellent condition. It's almost like it was hardly, if ever, handled. This is a good movie, though. I remember that movie from the early 90s. Somebody sent me Grave of the Fireflies. This is the collector's series on DVD. Comes with the English and Japanese language. Also has English subtitles. And you get a bonus DVD with interviews. And this is a really heavy set. There's 2 discs in here. This is a good movie, too. These Studio Ghibli movies are really, really excellent, I think. If you love anime and you love Miyazaki, you'll really love that movie. A couple more here, and then we're gonna, I think that's it for this video. The next one's called The Fourth Kind. This was a freebie, and it says also available on Blu-ray. It comes with a nice slipcover, and again, this thing is in like pristine condition. It's like brand new. People are really nice out there. The little collector community that we have is very nice, I think. You guys leave nice comments, and it's a fun place to hang out after like a stressful week of working and bills and everything else. It's nice to kind of hang out here and chill. So that is The Fourth Kind. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. It says it takes place in remote Alaska. Citizens have been mysteriously vanishing since the 1960s. So I don't know if this was based on true events or if this is just a sci-fi horror movie. I'm not sure. And then the last one was called The Ghost Rider, a film by Roman Polanski. I know I've never seen this before. It has Pierce Brosnan and Ewan McGregor. He's a great actor. I like Pierce too. I think both of these guys are excellent British actors. They're good stuff. But I've never seen the movie, and it looks like it may be kind of an action thriller. It says one of Roman Polanski's best and addictive thriller. So that is it for my update video. I know there wasn't really a whole lot in this video, but I'm happy with the things I bought, and I'm trying to kind of backtrack and get some of these collectibles before they start to go up in price. And there's always something to get. There's always new stuff coming out. You can't get everything. Just get the stuff that you like, right? I mean, that's all you can really do. Just collect the things you enjoy, the things that make you happy, the movies that you enjoy, and you don't have to try to keep up with the Joneses and try to copy people. Just get what you like. If you saw one movie in this update video that you like, I'm happy that I was able to share that with you. Also, I forgot to tell you guys too that I bought a new flashlight off of Amazon, and I plan on I may do it tomorrow night. I'm gonna take a solo hike in the woods at midnight. I'm gonna go into the deepest, darkest part of the woods here in the great state of Wisconsin, and I'm gonna hunt for Bigfoot. And I'm thinking about doing it live. I might do a live stream. And I'm gonna try out this new flashlight. It's supposed to have 90,000 lumens. So we're gonna test it out. I'll see if I can go live, if I get a signal out in the deep woods. If I don't, I will just record it on my phone, and we'll go do a little deep, dark hiking right into the Bigfoot country. So I hope you guys will join me on that one. So for Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, I'm your boy, Toddy Walnuts. I hope Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great weekend. We're going to go outside, get some fresh air, and take care. See you next time.